So I'm in a bit of bother on this Riot options trade, and what I really wanted to do was just walk you guys through what's the situation, where I am, and what steps I'm doing to overcome this. Because a lot of option traders show you the good about you making lots of premium every single week, but I like to show you the dark side of options trading, or where you can get in a bit of trouble, and what I'm going to do about it. And I could potentially lose quite a bit of money on this trade, but again, for me, it's all about the learning experience as well as making the money. So if you like that, like this video, subscribe, and hit that bell notification icon. So we're here on TradingView, and for those who've been following my channel, know I love trading options on Riot. It is a crypto mining company, and as you can see, throughout 2022, it's got absolutely battered, right? Hitting lows of around $4 per share. So I've been selling options for a while on this, and I currently own 1,100 shares or 11 contracts in Options World at a cost basis of $22.50. Now, as you know, I've sold a lot of options, made a lot of money through this. So my break even is $5.23. Eventually, hopefully, if I get out of this position, I'll be at a situation where I've generated enough money to cover the, 20 odd $1,000 that I've got invested currently in Riot at the moment. So what I've been doing, for those who've been following, I've been selling covered calls below my cost basis, and I've been doing that quite successfully because this move all the way down, as you can see, it's not making any highs here. It just keeps going down, and I've been continuing to do that, and I've been, putting my strike price roughly between 10 to 15% away from the current price on a weekly basis. So giving myself some room if right does go up, I'm able to roll it out and roll my option out and up. So out in expiration, up in strike. However, around this area over here, around mid-July, we've got a couple of gaps up. And this couple of gaps up is really what's causing me a big problem here, because if the price goes up fast, then it's very difficult to keep rolling up for net credits every single week. So in this scenario over here, I've just been rolling out my option for an additional couple of weeks at the same strike, hoping in this example for Riot to pull back slowly or just start, meandering before making another move up, allowing me to either push this strike price up or potentially even get out of the trade. Now, what you can see what's happening now since the back end of July and the whole of August and today with this massive gap up here, we are in a lot of trouble, right? Today we hit highs of 10.51 and my strike price is at $6 expiring next Friday, August the 19th. Now, what can we actually do about this situation? Because you've got to remember, even though I'm above my break even, and yes, I have to give all this money back, I don't want to give all this money back. This is just comforting to know that if I was earlier signed, that, yeah, I gave back, what's that, 10, 15K, something like that. But I still made a little bit of money on here. So, because I've not taken any money out of this trading account. So, for me, it's going to hurt, but it's not going to hurt that much, which is why I always say it's important to manage your cost basis and your break even so you know where you are. So, in this particular example, what are my options that are available? And if I have a look at something that I wrote down, I think this might have changed, and we'll have a look at this in a second. I've got two options what I can do here. The first thing I can do is close out the position. So if we have a look to see how much this option is currently worth today, so we're looking at the $6 strike on the 19th of August. So what I've got up here is I've got up not TradingView, Webull. I'm on Riot, and again it's up 11% on the day. We're looking at calls August the 19th, and we want the $6 strike. So it's between 430 and 455. So if we go with 430, 440 as a basis there. So $440 times by 11 contracts, that's $4,840. So option one is I can close this out for, what was it? $4,480 as a loss, right? Which again isn't the end of the world. My break even will go up slightly by that amount of money. And we kind of move on, and I start rolling. I start then selling additional covered calls at like the $12, $13, $14 strike. That is the first option. The second option, which is what I'm probably going to do, is roll my option out. And what that means, roll it out in expiration. So instead of the 19th of August, I'm probably going to have to look for like an additional month out, or probably early September. And then I'm going to roll the option up for a net debit, right? So instead of the $6 strike, I'm going to look for the 650 early September. So if we have a look at that briefly, so if we say it costs around $440, if I go up to September the 9th at the 650, right? You can see that it's around, let's say, 400. So that is around $40 net difference times by 11. That is a $440 debit in that particular example. So what I'm doing here is I'm buying this option back for, what was it, $440 odd dollars, and then I am selling to open a new position for $400 premium and moving my strike up by 50 cents to 650. Right, and while I'm recording this, you can see it's dropping down slightly. We're now down slightly, just about $10. So that to me seems more appealing, right? I'm willing to give back $400 to move my strike up. And the reason why I want to do that instead of closing out this position is if I bring up the RSI for a second, I've got two RSIs open here. Let's get rid of this one. You can see we are extremely overbought here. And what then the next question comes in is, when do I actually roll this option? Do I roll this option today? Because I've still got another week on it, right? I've got another week, and this is what I'm debating on this. We're Thursday today. We've got another trading day there tomorrow. What do I do? So what I have done, I've put an open position out there for that roll that we talked about, moving the strike up to 650 and rolling out, I think it's to the first week of September, for a $20 net debit, or a total overall loss of $220, which is times by 11 contracts, 220. So that to me sounds like a good move to me. I'm going to give back $220, which for me, in terms of premium for RIOT, is about 2 to 3 weeks worth of premium, right? And then what I'll do is roll my strike up for 50 cents. So what does that give me? That firstly gives me, I'm moving closer to the current price, which then also means that if I was early assigned, that's an additional 50 cents for the 1100 contract. So if I was to get assigned early, 50 cents times by 11, that's $550 in additional money back to me for a $220, kind of loss that I've taken to incur. So that's the first thing. And then secondly, it gives me time. Going back to the conversation we had about RIOT is extremely overbought. If we were in these situations down here, then I would be a lot more concerned, because RIOT still has some good move to actually go up. So that's what I've done. So for today, I've left that, I think it was at the bid price of a $20 roll, and the mid was at 50. So, it's still got to come down considerably for me to get filled on that option. But I would rather have that option out there pending, and while I'm away from my desk or doing other things and RIOT does drop, I'm comfortable taking a $220 loss or giving back some of my profit to move my strike to sit from 6 to 650 and giving myself another few more weeks. Because then if Riot drops again into the nines and the eights, I'll roll that again to the 7 strike for hopefully a net credit or a break even, again getting me closer. So in terms of making money with Riot for the foreseeable future, Riot's on the bench at the moment, and what I'm doing is I'm in defensive mode here, trying to get out of this position and then starting to sell covered calls again on Riot for a positive. So overall, this is great in terms of we want Riot to go up because my cost basis is up here. So I want this to happen. I just don't want to have a covered call sitting at the 6th strike. So these are things or challenges you have when you sell options below your cost basis. If the underlying moves up very fast, it's very hard, and then you start playing defensive. But I don't mind playing defensive on this because deep down I know I'm above my break even anyway. But most of the time, break evens are like here or something like that. If you take charge point as an example, my break even's here, and then I have my strike price here. So that's not where we want to be either. So I really hope that kind of makes sense. If you guys want to see the outcome of this video in terms of what's going on, I'll probably keep you updated anyway, but comment down below, let me know your thoughts, and I shall see you guys in the next video.